Dear brothers and sisters, let us continue the book reading Reality at Dawn, written by Babuji Maharaj, chapter The Guru. It is a matter of greatest regret and pity that this age-old process of yogic transmission, originated and widely practiced by our ancient sages, has now gone into complete oblivion in the very land of its origin, where today only but a few might feel inclined to believe it even. Some people try to ridicule it by misinterpreting it as nothing but mesmerism or hypnotism. I have explained this point in my book Efficacy of Raja Yoga. Here, I may assure you that spiritual training for the attainment of higher stages is only possible by the process of yogic transmission and by no other means. Frequent reference to this process in the present society of educated persons has led certain religious teachers today to defend their inefficiency in this respect by explaining to the people that there is nothing peculiar about transmission. It generally happens when you are in the company of a Mahatma or a saint, that you are to some extent relieved of your disturbing thoughts and feel comparatively calm for a while. This they claim to be due to the effect of transmission by the Mahatma. Those who offer this explanation mean only to deceive the public with a view to whitewash their incapacity. What they interpret as transmission is really the automatic radiation of the pious Paramanus, fine particles from the Mahatma. It affects all those assembled there, with the result that calmness prevails to some extent so long as they are there. It is only a natural process and has nothing to do with transmission. It is not only from a Mahatma or saint that such Paramanus, fine particles, radiates, but also from everyone, whether pious or wicked, saintly or devilish. If you are for some time with an impious or morally degraded person, you find similar impious Paramanus radiating from him and affecting you, with the result that you find your thoughts flowing in the same channel for the time being. The effect of such radiation remains only for a little while and disappears when you are away from it. This is the reason why often religious teachers are found to be making complaints of the indifference of the people to follow what they preach to them. They say that people, when they go back after hearing their Upadesh, cast off all they have heard then and there, retaining nothing of it in their mind. I think it is not the people but the teacher or the Upadeshak preacher who is really to be blamed for it, for he has not the capacity or power to transmit what he means to preach from the platform. Similar views are expressed in connection with Sankirtan performances. The peaceful atmosphere created on such occasions is claimed to be due to the effect of transmission. It is really the result of vibrations produced by the sound of singing in chorus. We experience the same thing at all music parties which we attend. On such occasions, our mind is mostly focused on one and the same thing which is in our view, and we are for the time being unmindful of other things. In Sankirtan, as our thoughts are located on some pious ideal, we begin to feel the same thing in our heart automatically. It has nothing to do with the transmission. Power of transmission is a yogic attainment of a very high order, by which a yogi can infuse by his own will force the yogic energy or godly effulgence within any one and remove anything unwanted to him or detrimental to his spiritual progress. He can exercise this power not only on those assembled around him but on those too who are away from him. The power can be utilized in any way at any time. One who has got command over this power can at a glance create temporarily or permanently a condition of the mind which is far ahead of the existing condition of the mind of an abhyasi and which otherwise will require a lifetime to be achieved. It is not only a vain assertion but a bare fact and may at any time be practically verified by anyone who pleases to do so. Sages have often, through power of transmission, changed the entire nature of a man at a mere glance. The wonderful examples of the great sages like my master Samartha Guru Sri Ramchandra Ji Maharaj of Fatehgarh, Swami Vivekananda and others offer ample proof of it. Here Babuji Maharaj is explaining us about the yogic transmission. Yogic transmission is originated in our country, in India. It is the age-old process, but unfortunately it has been forgotten by we people. So Babuji Maharaj is saying that very few are feeling inclined to believe the yogic transmission, that is Pranahuti Shakti, even now. And some people are trying to misinterpret it as nothing but mesmerism or hypnotism. See, this is the pitiest thing. So Babuji Maharaj has explained this point in his book Efficacy of Raja Yoga. Here he is assuring us that spiritual training for the attainment of higher stages is only possible by the process of yogic transmission, and no other means can help us in this regard. So, frequent references to this process in the present society of educated persons has led certain religious teachers today to find their inefficiency in this respect by explaining to the people that there is nothing peculiar about transmission. So, no need to pay any importance to transmission. This is what the present day religious teachers are feeding the people's mind. Usually, when we are in the company of a Mahatma or a saint, we are to some extent relieved from our disturbing thoughts and feel comparatively calm for a while, isn't it? Those Mahatmas will claim it as the transmission power. But it is not so. They just deceive the public with a view to whitewash their incapacity, to hide their incapability. And what they interpret as transmission is really the automatic radiation of the pious Paramanus or fine particles from those Mahatmas. These fine particles or Paramanus will affect the people who are present there or surrounding that Mahatma. This is only a natural process and has nothing to do with transmission. So, transmission is entirely different thing. See, this kind of radiation of Paramanus will happen even in case of other peoples also. Like, they may be pious or wicked, saintly or devilish. If we are for some time with an impious or morally degraded person, we find similar impious Paramanus radiating from him and affecting us, isn't it? As a result of that, we find our thoughts flowing in the same channel for the time being. The effect of such radiation remains only for a little period, or temporarily it will remain, and afterwards it disappears when we are away from that person. This is the reason why when all the religious teachers, when they deliver the speech, the people will feel themselves transformed. But as soon as they leave that place, again they will be in their own track. For this, Babuji Maharaj is saying that this is not the mistake of the people, but for this, the preachers should be blamed. Why? Because they do not have the capacity to transmit the power through their speech and to transform the disciples. And similar views are also explained in connection with Sankirtana performances. When people participate in group singing, that is Sankirtanas, they feel that devotional atmosphere and their heart is filled with great devotion, and they will be away from all these worldly aspects. But as soon as they return home, everything will be as usual. And why? Because during the Sankirtanas or any musical concert, our thought process will be channelized in one direction. That is the object of worship. This is the reason why the people will feel that they are taken forward in the court of devotion, and nothing else is there in their mind until they come back home. So this kind of experience of feeling everybody will undergo. But this cannot be compared with transmission. Why? Because transmission is entirely different. And when it is transmitted by a yogi or the guru of high caliber into a person, this yogic energy or godly effluence within anyone can remove anything unwanted in him and make him to progress in his spiritual path. And this power can be exercised not only in the presence of that particular person or even away from him also. The power can be utilized in any way at any time. One who has got command over this power can at a glance even create temporarily or permanently a condition of the mind which is far ahead of the existing condition of the mind of an abhyasi, and which otherwise will require a lifetime to be achieved. It is not only a vain assertion but a bare fact, and may at any time be practically verified by anyone who please to do so. That's what Babuji Maharaj is saying. So sages have often, through power of transmission, changed the entire nature of a man at a mere glance. The wonderful example of the great sages like Babuji Maharaj's master, Samartha Sadguru, Sri Ramchandra Ji Maharaj of Fatehgarh, Swami Vivekananda and others offer ample proof of it. So here today Babuji Maharaj has explained us what is the real transmission and how it will affect the progress of an abhyasi, how it will help him in his spiritual path. With this, dear brethren, let us conclude today's satsang. Let us know more aspects in the forthcoming satsang. Till then, I take leave. Pranams. Namaste.